If you're tired of barely making it to the end of the month, if you're working hard but still feel stuck in the same place, if money controls your choices, your peace, and your future, then this video is for you. Because let's be honest, most people don't have a money problem. They have a mindset problem. They have an action problem. They've been taught to survive, not to build, to work, but not to own, to hope, but never to plan. And maybe that's where you are right now, wishing for change but stuck in fear. Telling yourself, I'll start when I earn more. I'll get serious when I have more time. I'll learn about money later. But later is the most expensive word in your vocabulary. Later becomes years. Later becomes regret. Later becomes, I wish I started sooner. So this is your line in the sand. This is your reset. This is your reminder that financial freedom doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the disciplined. To those who are done making excuses. To those who are ready to take control. Because you don't need a perfect plan. You don't need 6 figures. You don't need to be a financial expert. You just need to start with what you have, right where you are. The sooner you begin, the sooner you're free. Free from the fear. Free from the cycle. Free from the version of you that keeps settling for just enough. So no more waiting. No more blaming. No more hiding behind someday. Financial freedom starts today, and it starts with you. Before you chase financial freedom, you need to understand what it truly is. It's not about having millions in the bank. It's not about retiring at 35 or buying luxury cars or living in some fantasy life. Financial freedom is about control. Control over your time. Control over your choices. Control over how you live, work, rest, and dream. It's the ability to say no to what doesn't align with you, and yes to what does. It's waking up in the morning and knowing that your bills are paid. Your future is secure, and your life is built around what matters most to you, not around stress and survival. Most people never get there. Not because they can't, but because they're chasing the wrong definition of wealth. They think freedom is about being rich, but real freedom starts way before that. It starts when your money stops being a source of fear and starts becoming a source of confidence, stability, and peace of mind. There are levels to financial freedom. First, it's about getting out of the cycle, that constant tension between paycheck and bills. Then it becomes the freedom to choose where you live, what you do, who you work with, how you spend your days. And eventually, it's the freedom to step fully into your purpose, to create, serve, and live without compromise. So ask yourself, what would change in your life if money was no longer the barrier? What dreams have you buried under debt, doubt, and delay? What kind of version of you could exist if financial pressure didn't have you in a chokehold every single month? Financial freedom isn't about numbers, it's about power. And the longer you wait to define what it means for you, the longer you stay in systems designed to keep you stuck. It's time to stop living in reaction. It's time to stop surviving and start designing. Because the truth is, you don't have to be a genius. You don't need to be born into wealth. You just need a clear definition, a bold decision, and the discipline to follow through. That's where freedom begins. With clarity, with purpose, with you choosing a different story, starting right now. If financial freedom starts with you, then the first thing you have to do is remove the weight of your own excuses. Because let's be real, most people don't fail because they don't have a plan. They fail because they never even give themselves permission to begin. And the excuses? They're loud. They sound logical, but they're lies. Lies that keep you comfortable, broke, and stuck. I don't make enough money. That sounds reasonable, until you realize that income is not the real issue. People earning $1 a month and $10 a month both struggle when they don't have a system. It's not how much you make, it's what you do with what you make. If you can't manage $500, you won't magically become responsible with $5. It starts now, with what you have. I don't have time. Let's talk about that. You have time. You just don't control it. You give it away, to distractions, to scrolling, to commitments you don't even care about. Audit your screen time. Audit your weekends. Audit the mental space you give to things that bring you no return. You don't need 10 free hours a day. You need 30 minutes of focused action. Every day, consistently. I'm not good with money. Of course you're not. No one taught you. But that's not a reason to stay stuck. That's a reason to start learning. And in a world with free videos, books, tools, and courses at your fingertips, ignorance is a choice. You don't need to become an expert. You just need to become aware. Because once you understand how money works, you stop fearing it. And when you stop fearing it, you start using it. I'll figure it out later. Later is a fantasy. Later becomes never. Every year you delay is a year you stay where you are. And the price is high, not just in dollars, but in peace, potential, and time you can't get back. If not now, when? If not you, who? Excuses feel safe. They protect you from change. But they also protect you from growth. And the longer you live behind them, the harder it becomes to recognize the life you actually want. So be honest with yourself. What's really holding you back? Is it knowledge, or is it fear? Is it lack of money, or lack of clarity? Is it time, or is it your priorities? You don't need more excuses. You need a reason that's stronger than your habits, stronger than your doubt, stronger than your past. Because the life you want won't come from convenience. It comes from commitment. And commitment begins the moment you stop explaining your limits and start expanding them. Your financial situation is a reflection of your financial mindset. Not just your job, not just your income, but how you think, feel, and act around money. Because no matter how much you earn, if your mindset is built on fear, lack, guilt, or shame, you will sabotage yourself. Again and again. Most of us were raised with broken money beliefs. We were told, money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. Wanting more is selfish. Or, as long as you have enough to get by, that's good enough. And if no one ever helped you rewrite those beliefs, they're still running in the background, quietly shaping every financial decision you make. So let's be clear. Money is not good or bad. It's neutral. It's a tool, a mirror, a magnifier. It doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you already are. And when used wisely, money becomes a force for freedom, for peace, for impact. Money is not just about bills and bank accounts. It's about options. It's about not having to say yes to a job that drains you just because you can't afford to leave. It's about sending your kids to the school you choose, not the one you're stuck with. It's about taking care of your parents when they get older. It's about being generous, not when it's convenient, but when it's needed. That's what money makes possible. Not ego, not excess, but agency. You don't need to obsess over money, but you do need to respect it. You need to give it direction, give it purpose, and give yourself permission to want more without guilt. Wanting more is not greed. It's growth. It means you refuse to settle. It means you understand that the better you are financially, the better you can serve, create, and live. So change the way you speak about money. Stop saying, I'm broke, like it's your identity. Stop saying, I can't afford that. And start asking, how can I make that possible? Stop treating money like a mystery and start treating it like a muscle. One that gets stronger the more you train it. Because the difference between scarcity and abundance doesn't start in your wallet. It starts in your mind. And when your mindset shifts, your financial life starts to follow. Let's get practical. Because mindset is where change begins, but action is where results happen. And if you want to change your financial life, you need to understand the basics, the foundation, the stuff nobody ever taught you in school, but you can't afford to ignore anymore. There are 4 pillars of personal finance: earning, spending, saving, and investing. That's it. Simple to understand, hard to master. Most people get stuck because they only focus on 1 or 2. But if you ignore even one of these, the whole system starts to fall apart. Let's start with earning. Your income is your fuel. And yes, you need to protect it, grow it, and eventually diversify it. But most people make the mistake of thinking income alone will set them free. It won't, because the more you earn, the more you'll spend, unless you know how to manage it. That brings us to spending. You can't out-earn bad habits. You can have a great salary and still feel broke every month. Because money doesn't disappear, it leaks. It leaks through mindless purchases, emotional spending, subscriptions you forgot about, lifestyle upgrades you didn't need. You need to tell every dollar where to go, or it will leave without asking. That's called a budget, not a punishment, a plan. Then there's saving. Not just saving for vacation or a new phone. Saving to create margin. An emergency fund, a buffer between you and panic. Because life will happen. The car will break. The job might end. The bills will pile up. And when it does, your savings is your shield. Start small. $500. Then $1. Then 3 to 6 months of living expenses. It's not about how much. It's about building the habit. And finally, investing. This is how you stop trading time for money. This is how you build freedom, not just income. Investing is putting your money to work so you don't have to work forever. Whether it's stocks, real estate, index funds, or business, the goal is the same: long-term growth. And the earlier you start, the more time you give compound interest to work in your favor. You don't have to do it all at once, but you do have to start somewhere. Track your spending. Build a budget. Open a savings account. Learn how investing works. Every small step is a seed. And over time, those seeds grow into stability, confidence, and control. This is the foundation. This is how you take back your power. Not through luck, through clarity, consistency, and commitment. Cutting expenses can only take you so far. You can't shrink your way into freedom. Yes, budgeting matters. Yes, saving is essential. But at some point, the game has to shift from protecting what you have to expanding what you earn. That's where real freedom begins. If you're stuck living paycheck to paycheck, barely getting ahead no matter how disciplined you are, it's time to look at your income. Because most people don't have a spending problem. They have an earning problem. They're capped, stuck in one stream of income that barely covers life, let alone dreams. And the truth is, relying on one source of income in today's world is risky. One job loss, one crisis, one shift in the economy, and everything falls apart. That's why wealthy people talk about multiple income streams. Not because it's trendy, but because it's smart. It's stability. It's leverage. So how do you start? You start where you are. What skills do you already have? What knowledge can you teach? What service can you offer? What problems can you solve? Money flows where value is created. And value isn't about how many degrees you hold. It's about how well you help others. You can freelance, consult, create, build. You can write, design, teach, coach, sell. You can build something online, offline, or both. The internet has removed the gatekeepers. You don't need permission. You need a mindset shift. From, I need more money, to, I can create more money. Even if it's just an extra $100 a month. That's where it starts. Then $300. Then $500. Then suddenly you're not trapped anymore. Suddenly, you're building freedom instead of just surviving the month. You reinvest that money. You buy back your time. You build margin. You expand your choices. This isn't about hustle culture. This isn't about grinding 24/7. It's about realizing that your time, your energy, your creativity, all of it can become a tool for liberation. Not limitation, but only if you stop saying, I'm not good at anything, and start asking, what can I try? What can I learn? What can I offer? Because the more value you bring to the world, the more options life brings back to you. So stop thinking small. Stop waiting for a raise. Stop settling for just enough. Learn how to earn. Grow what you have. Build beyond the basics. Your next level isn't found in cutting expenses. It's found in expanding your capacity. And that begins the moment you believe you have more to offer, and you start proving it. At some point, earning more won't be enough. Because no matter how hard you work, your time is limited. You can't work 24 hours a day. You can't trade your energy forever. If every dollar in your life depends on you being awake, alert, and active, you don't own your money. Your money owns you. That's why investing matters. Because investing is how you buy your freedom back. It's how you escape the trap of trading time for money. It's how you build something that keeps growing, even when you're sleeping, resting, or living. Here's what you need to know. Investing isn't about getting rich quick. It's not gambling. It's not magic. It's a mindset, a system, a long-term strategy that takes consistency, patience, and education, not luck. You don't need thousands of dollars to start. You just need to start. Start with $10. Start with $100. Start with 1 hour of research. One beginner-friendly video. One conversation that opens your eyes to what's possible. Because the sooner you start, the more time you give compound growth to work in your favor. And compound growth, that's the closest thing to financial superpowers the real world has. There are many ways to invest: stocks, index funds, real estate, digital assets, business ownership. What matters most isn't where you start, but that you start, that you stop spending every dollar and begin directing some of them to your future self. That you stop fearing what you don't understand and choose to learn instead. Because investing isn't just about building wealth, it's about building options. It's about creating a life where work is a choice, not a necessity. Where emergencies don't become financial disasters. Where you can take a break without going broke. And don't fall for the lie that investing is only for the rich. The rich got rich because they invested. They planted seeds. They waited. They stayed consistent while everyone else spent it all. You can do the same, starting small, staying patient, and committing to the long game. Remember, the earlier you plant, the stronger your forest grows. So don't wait for more money. Don't wait for the perfect time. The best day to start was 10 years ago. The second best day? Today. You've heard enough. You've felt the truth. You've seen where the excuses lead. Now it comes down to one thing. Will you act? Or will you stay the same? Because nothing changes if you don't. No mindset shift. No budget. No investment strategy means anything if you leave this message inspired but unchanged. Inspiration fades. Emotion fades. What lasts is action. Quiet. Consistent. Daily action. That's what separates those who build freedom from those who only wish for it. So here's the truth. You don't need more time. You don't need permission. You don't need to know everything. You just need to do the next right thing. Start tracking your money. Open that savings account. Cancel that unnecessary subscription. Watch that beginner investing video. Say no to that impulse buy. Say yes to becoming the kind of person who no longer avoids financial responsibility. Because the moment you stop waiting, the moment you stop blaming, the moment you say enough, that's when things begin to shift. Slowly at first, then with momentum, then with power. No one's coming to save you. But you don't need saving, you need ownership. You need to reclaim your time, your energy, your money, and your future. Financial freedom is not reserved for the lucky. It's available to the committed. The ones who choose to face their numbers. The ones who choose to grow, even when it's uncomfortable. The ones who decide that just enough is no longer enough. So let this be the day you stop surviving and start building. Let this be the line between your old story and your new standard. Let this be the moment you say, I'm done with excuses. I start now. Because freedom doesn't wait, and neither should you. Financial freedom starts today. No more fear. No more delay. No more excuses.